This is Liz Villman of WZEV 90.5 Gold, coming to you live from our studios in downtown Lineville. We're bringing you some great country music with a modern twist tonight from a very talented resident right here in Clay County, Mr. Jeremiah Wheeler. And we've got Jesse Giddens of WZEV Branding, who's going to be interviewing Jeremiah about his newly signed record deal. Good evening, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I know our listeners are excited about knowing more about you and your music, Jeremiah, so let's get started.
Yeah, so we're just going to figure out, a little bit about you, where you grew up, where you're at now, just a little bit about your story. So just go ahead.
Yeah, so I grew up in Cave Spring, Georgia. Been playing music since I was about 8 years old. My grandfather was a Southern Baptist preacher, and I grew up singing in church. When I was about 12, I signed a deal to do a duet with a country artist at the time that was blowing up. And then I thought I wanted to be an actor and sing all at the same time. So we went down that path and working all the time as a child. I just wanted to do music. So, my mom and I, we got out of those contracts or didn't renew them when they were up. And I started auditioning for American Idol and America's Got Talent and all these shows, because at that time, that's what was happening. That was
there wasn't social media to get out there.
Yeah,
either.
Exactly. That's what everyone was doing. So I started auditioning for American Idol. I know I auditioned for The Voice. I auditioned for America's Got Talent. I auditioned for Nashville Star twice. On the second time in Nashville Star, my dad basically loaded us up in the car, my sister and I, and didn't tell us where we were going. We get to a city and I see a skyline and realize we're in Nashville, and I'm like, why are we here? And my dad's like, you're auditioning for Nashville Star again. So I did that, and I ended up making it to the top 40.
And how old were you then?
I was 16.
Okay.
And I looked like I was 12.
And then I heard your story through your first debut album. You talk about moving to Tennessee, in the song Tennessee. The album's called I Call Home, and when I heard that for the first time, I knew you understood the small town life.
Yeah,
it wasn't
absolutely.
An act, and I think that's what I related to so much about your music.
I can't stay away from this place that made me who I am. Learn to fight.
What are you up to now? You got a record deal. Who's your label?
Yeah, so I just signed in January of this year, so 2022. I signed with Curtain Call Records and Sony Music, Orchard out of Nashville. I worked really hard on getting to the right label, the right group of people, the right team. I was in a deal previously before that in my 20s, early 20s, with another label and some major distribution, and it just didn't work out. And I learned a lot from it, and I learned what I wanted and who I was, what I would give up and what I wouldn't, what my terms were. And I really found an amazing team, a label, a whole group of people who believe in me, who have given me all the control pretty much creatively. I am so grateful, and I have to thank Rod Black at Jet Black Stare, the lead singer of Jet Black Stare, but also Bet on Black Productions, who really has been a cheerleader for me. He's put my name in the hat every single time in these major rooms that he's been in Nashville, and it has finally come to a place of paying off, and honestly, I have him to thank for all of this.
Yeah, we've talked, outside of this, and it seems like he's the connecting piece between you, the label, your career manager, whose name is also Jesse.
Yes. Also
the band that you told me about, how it's more of a family atmosphere. You've got Jeannie and Skip, who are husband and wife. You've got Hayden and Greg, who are father and son. And then you've got Mark in the back on drums. Talk about a little bit of your upcoming music. You got some singles coming out, right?
I do, yeah. So we're trying to decide on the order and how we're going to do things. And I can't say much about what took place this morning, but I have a very well-known producer signed on to produce my singles, and I still am a little in shock by it all. And
you know what the first single is going to be yet?
I don't. We're going back and forth right now. I know the three that we are looking at, and I'll play one a little later. We're looking at releasing something in June, so I want to make sure that whatever I put out is going to be powerful, me, fun, And, that's important to me.
You want to go ahead and play one of the upcoming singles?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Even if I wanted to, well, I couldn't leave. 'Cause this girl has got a hold of me. The hottest thing I've ever seen. And if you buy her a shot, you better make it a double. I can't run from her.
Jeremiah, that was great. I know our listeners would love to hear you perform. Would you play something for us now, right here in the studio?
Okay, cool. I will play Nothin on Her. I wrote this song in Nashville with a couple friends of mine, Kenny Greenberg and Brandon Hart. I never had a pickup line. I never told the girl one time how she's everything I ever dreamed of. Maybelline, don't know her name. She ain't gotta change a thing, yeah. She'll turn the sinner to a believer. But just as sure as the morning sun, well, she knows she's the only one. There ain't no beautiful, there ain't no beautiful like her. It's unusual, a melody I've never heard, and it's true, you know. The woman is a mystery you can't explain with just a word. 'Cause love's got nothing on her. Love's got nothing on her. Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a commercial break and be back in just a moment. This is Liz with WZEV 90.5 Gold in downtown Lineville.
I've been needing. The woman is a mystery you can't explain with just a word. 'Cause love's got nothing on her. Yeah, love's got nothing on her.
And we're back with Jeremiah Wheeler and Jesse Giddens here in the studios at WZEV 90.5 Gold. Jeremiah, that was a beautiful song.
Yeah, that was really good. Where can they hear you live? We got some upcoming shows, correct?
Yes. First of all, if you go to my website, jeremiahwheelermusic.com, there's a landing page there that has all of my socials on it. We post on Instagram, Facebook, and have weekly flyers of where I'll be, upcoming shows, and all the information on there. So just go to jeremiahwheelermusic.com, and you'll see all the links there at the bottom.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, for letting us hear your music. Thank you, Liz, for having us. This was an absolute pleasure.
Well, we're excited that y'all could join us, and we will continue to let our listeners know about where you're going to be performing and keep them abreast of all your events. Awesome. So we will definitely be reminding them of that weekly.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it so much.
You've been listening to Clay County's community radio station, WZEV 90.5 Gold in downtown Lineville.